The story begins with Tom Hardy as Walker, a patrol officer. Previously, driven by greed and personal gain, he and 4 colleagues carried out an illegal operation at a flour mill. However, their negligence led to an undercover officer being severely injured, forcing them to hide the body in an oil drum and dump it in the river to cover their tracks. Though the incident is in the past, the haunting memory of it still clings to Walker. One night while on patrol, Walker's partner pursued a box truck. Inside are criminals. Instead of surrendering, they speed off frantically, even one masked man nearly thrown out due to the high speed. 2 police cars give chase closely, but just as they are about to surround it, the truck driver suddenly swerves, changing direction and forcing them into a dead end. Finally, the criminals have to use a drift maneuver to push their accomplice, who is clinging to the door, into the back of the truck. When the criminals remain defiant, the police must use a coordinated American-style tactic to break through the barrier and get onto the highway, continuing the breathtaking pursuit. Inside the truck bed, the criminals try to stop the police. Seeing many washing machines, they throw one at the front of a police car, stopping it. When the police team led by Jake arrives, a colleague is already severely injured, and they have to call an ambulance. Jake's face is filled with fury. In another development, tomorrow is Christmas. Walker stops by a small shop to buy a gift for his daughter. However, the shop only has old, cheap items. He reluctantly picks a few things. At this moment, the TV in the shop broadcasts news. The prosecutor announces they will drop all charges against mayoral candidate and real estate tycoon Lawrence. Walker hears this, his face remaining cold. As soon as he steps outside, he immediately calls his ex-wife, saying he has a gift for their daughter. However, his ex-wife refuses and won't let their daughter accept the gift, not even letting the girl take the call. At the same time, his colleague Ellie hears a cry for help and runs to check. A man in an apartment denies abusing his girlfriend and refuses to open the door. However, Ellie is not easily intimidated. When Walker arrives looking for her, he finds her kicking the man down the stairs. Walker cuffs him to the railing, then tells Ellie to quickly return to the patrol car because this isn't their assignment. Meanwhile, the criminals are waiting outside a nightclub. The curly-haired guy constantly grumbles and complains. They had promised just to steal a truck full of washing machines to help Mia pay off her debt, but the situation escalated beyond expectations, possibly injuring a police officer. Charlie promises to take full responsibility, and only then does the curly-haired guy fall silent. Just then, their contact appears. Charlie and his girlfriend Mia carry 2 large bags towards them. Led by the 2 contacts, the group enters a nightclub, the territory of the Triad gang. The Triad leader is Sui, an acquaintance of Charlie. However, because Mia once stole Sui's car, they have to transport flour to pay off the debt. What angers Sui is that the group injured a police officer, complicating everything. Sui orders his contact, Ching, to split the money. Outside, another criminal sees a car speeding into a small alley and immediately senses danger. He intends to flee, but his accomplice stops him in time and calls Mia to report. At the same time, in the car, Ching sees an acquaintance and receives a message to withdraw immediately. Without changing his expression, Ching returns to the nightclub. Instantly, the guards are torn apart like a beehive under a hail of bullets. Mia stands frozen, her legs weak with fear. Meanwhile, Walker is driving the patrol car with his colleague Ellie, who has just been assigned as his partner. Ellie wants to improve their relationship for better coordination, but Walker bluntly says she must have offended someone or is incompetent to be assigned to partner with him. Ellie doesn't get angry, trying to find ways to start a conversation, but is repeatedly rebuffed by Walker. As she awkwardly wonders what to say next, they receive an urgent call. A gang shootout has occurred in a neighborhood, requiring immediate presence at the scene. Upon arrival, from the police accounts, they learn that the suspects fled via the staircase after the incident, but no one managed to get the license plate number. Walker quickly examines the scene. Based on the direction the bodies fell and the bullet entry points, he reconstructs the crime in his mind. After breaking in, the perpetrator opened fire indiscriminately, hitting everyone present. The leader also died on a pile of flour. After inspecting the scene, Walker's heart feels heavy. This incident, especially involving the underworld, will surely trigger a new bloody war. Just then, Walker receives news from his close friend, Officer Cortez, that he is in critical condition after the shootout. At the same time, Ellie discovers a fragment of a mask and shows the surveillance video to Walker. In the video, Charlie's face and Mia's pistol are clearly visible. However, Walker analyzes that the scene only has assault rifle casings, and all victims couldn't react in time. This couldn't have been caused by Mia's small pistol. Clearly, the real culprit must be someone else. Besides, there are many bloodstains on the exit stairs. This makes Walker think the guards might not have been seriously injured but escaped during the chaos. He immediately orders a search for Asians being treated for gunshot wounds at hospitals. Afterward, Walker has one more thing to do. He immediately goes to see the mayoral candidate, Mr. Lawrence, who is also Charlie's father. Previously, it was Walker who asked the prosecutor to drop the charges against Lawrence. Meeting Lawrence, Walker directly asks where his son is now. Lawrence explains that since his wife passed away, Charlie has grown increasingly distant from him. Hearing this, Walker recounts the recent incident. While trading flour with Sui, Charlie might have been involved in a bloody shootout. Lawrence turns pale upon hearing the news, but still firmly believes his son wasn't the perpetrator. Whether Charlie did it or not, he is now caught in this vortex. Lawrence warns Walker that Sui's mother, who holds immense power, will definitely not let this go. He understands that if he doesn't protect his son, both will be drawn into this war, and neither will survive. Therefore, he uses Walker's past misdeeds as leverage, demanding he ensure Charlie's safety. Walker has no choice but to set a condition. After the job is done, they will erase all debts and act as if they never knew each other. Lawrence immediately agrees. The next morning, Sui's mother immediately flies in from China to handle the funeral arrangements. She is also known by the nickname Mother of the Triad. Looking at her son's body, the elderly mother cannot hold back her tears. Immediately after, Mother leads her people to find Ching, Sui's close associate, to press him about the incident. Under duress, Ching shifts all the blame onto Charlie, trying to divert the matter. In another development, Walker drives through heavy rain straight towards Chinatown. Without a word, he punches an underground clinic's bodyguard out of the way, then enters, puts a gun to his forehead, demanding he open the locked door. Inside, a Triad bodyguard is having his wound bandaged. Walker shows no mercy, kicking the door open and grabbing the one trying to flee. He wants to extract information from him, but due to the language barrier, Walker has to ask the clinic doctor to translate. Walker holds up Charlie's photo and asks the bodyguard if he recognizes this person. Initially, he denies it, but when Walker presses his thumb into the bleeding wound, the pain becomes unbearable. Finally, he has to admit he saw Charlie with Ching. Walker continues to question if Charlie shot and harmed Sui. The bodyguard immediately shakes his head, saying the culprits were 3 men wearing hockey masks. After some interrogation, Walker finally gets the necessary information. Before leaving, he warns the clinic doctor. Next time something like this happens, report it to me immediately, don't hesitate. It turns out this doctor had secretly informed Walker beforehand. After Walker leaves, to avoid trouble, the doctor disposes of the injured bodyguard without hesitation. Right after, Walker rushes to the hospital to visit his close friend Cortez. The 3 police officers present there are the same ones who participated in the shady dealings with him. Jake tells Walker they have identified Charlie as the one who stole the truck, and Charlie is now the #1 suspect. Walker doesn't say much. He immediately enters the hospital room to check on Cortez. Cortez's wife has cried her eyes out. Although Cortez is out of critical danger, he might never wake up again. His wife recounts that recently, Cortez had been frequently melancholic, saying he wanted to return to being a patrol officer with Walker. During surgery last night, Cortez, in a delirious state, mumbled, "We caused trouble, shouldn't have gone there." This deeply worries his wife. Walker feels guilty, trying to console her that it has nothing to do with Cortez, nothing serious. But when his wife steps out to talk to the doctor, Walker begins to recall the events of that night when they accidentally injured the undercover cop. They were all panicked, especially upon discovering the man had a recording device. Walker had wanted to take the undercover officer for emergency treatment, but in an instant, Jake drew his gun and shot the man to silence him. At the same time, Mia and her group are causing a major scandal. They contact her uncle to prepare fake passports, ready to flee abroad. Mia's uncle gives her a secure phone and tells her to wait for his call. After leaving the hospital, Walker returns to the police station where he exchanges information with Ellie to grasp all the case leads, figuring out the next steps. At the funeral for Mother's son, a new group led by Mother also appears. Walker's superior, because he hid the fact that Charlie was alive, decides to hand the case over to someone else. Ellie no longer has to report to Walker. However, Walker doesn't let it end there. He hurriedly calls Ellie back, pleading and persuading her. Finally, Ellie reveals that Mia is hiding at her Uncle Raoul's scrapyard. Simultaneously, stuck in Christmas traffic, the mayor feels extremely anxious. A sense of unease washes over him, and right after, a group of motorcycle assassins infiltrates the motorcade, suddenly attacking, shooting down the driver, bodyguard, and secretary. The remaining people panic and run out, but are quickly attacked as well. The mayor is terrified beyond control. However, instead of continuing to shoot, the assassins throw him a phone. On the other line is Mother. She orders the mayor to pay the price. Then, the mayor is forcefully dragged out of the car. Walker is completely unaware of this incident. He has arrived at Raul's scrapyard. Raul quickly tries to hide his niece's passport, but cannot fool Walker. Initially, Raul doesn't want to give Mia up, but Walker bluntly states that without his protection, Mia won't survive the night. Raul has no choice but to reconsider and finally cooperates. He hands Walker the unlocked phone. Just then, the police also arrive. Walker tells Raul to pretend they don't know each other and quickly hands him over to the police. Elsewhere, Mother calls Ching into question where he was when her son was harmed. Ching claims Sui sent him away because he disagreed with doing business with the mayor's son and also involved Mia, but implies they could find Mia first. At this moment, the curly-haired guy proactively comes forward offering clues, only asking for his life to be spared. Mother looks coldly at the curly-haired guy and agrees. Meanwhile, Mia receives a message from Uncle Raul telling her to go to the Medusa nightclub at 8 p.m. to pick up her passport. An inexplicable sense of unease rises within Mia. Not long after, Walker sees Mia enter the nightclub. Many people are dancing wildly on the floor. Walker doesn't take long to spot Mia's location. When Mia tries to run, Walker immediately grabs her tightly, explaining he's a cop, but currently working for Charlie's father. He says if she doesn't want to be harmed by the gang, she must lead him to Charlie immediately. Just then, Mia sees 3 people enter the door. It's Jake and his accomplices. She turns pale, knowing these are the ones who stormed the Triad nightclub and carried out the previous attack. Walker is also surprised. Things seem more complicated than he thought. He approaches Mia, proactively greeting the group, asking what they're doing here. Jake replies they just want to talk to Mia and warns Walker not to interfere. Just as Mother's group storms and while Walker and Jake are confronting each other, the situation instantly changes. Jake realizes the tense situation and flashes his police badge, but the assassins have no intention of negotiating. They immediately draw knives and charge. The two sides instantly engage in a fierce battle. In the chaos, Mia doesn't hesitate and quickly escapes. However, the enemies are too numerous. When the attackers charge straight towards Mia, Walker quickly slides, taking down one man. Mia is no slouch either, picking up a knife and attacking 2 enemies. Just as danger closes in, Walker doesn't hesitate, delivering a powerful kick to save her. The two coordinate well, eliminating enemies before they can react. The situation intensifies as a female assassin charges in. Mia quickly lifts a wine barrel to knock down one attacker, but is immediately set upon by another female assassin. Mia dodges and fights her. As she nearly dies under the blade, Jake fires the first shot, shifting the battle to firearms. Without pause, Mother, the second assassin leader, appears. During the chaotic fight, Uncle Raul leads Charlie and others to the scene. Walker immediately provides covering fire for Mia, explains the situation to Charlie, and prepares to lead him out of danger. To prevent Charlie from escaping, Walker quickly presses his gun to Mia's head, showing no intention to negotiate. Before they can breathe a sigh of relief, corrupt cops on the upper floor suddenly open fire. Charlie, driven by youthful impulsiveness, tries to fight back, but is immediately pulled away by Walker. Seeing them try to escape, one corrupt cop gives chase, but is quickly taken down by the combined efforts of the assassins. On the other side, several other cops block Walker's path. Walker pulls out his badge to prove his identity, but before he can react, the cops are wiped out by a hail of machine gun fire. Mother's second wave of assassins has arrived. Walker doesn't hesitate, leading Charlie back towards the main hall. Raul sacrifices himself to block the door to protect his niece. Mia watches in agony and despair as her uncle falls. Charlie pulls his girlfriend along, continuing to flee. Walker provides covering fire while desperately pushing the door. After kicking the door open, the 3 finally escape the nightclub, but the danger isn't over. Outside, assassins are engaged in a gunfight with the police. As Charlie is about to get into the car, he spots the curly-haired guy lurking among the enemies and realizes he betrayed them. But there's no time for anger. The group quickly gets into the car and escapes the encirclement under a hail of bullets. Seeing their target escape, the enemy no longer wishes to continue fighting. Before leaving, the female assassin doesn't hesitate to casually shoot the curly-haired guy. In the end, only Jake and one accomplice remain. Not long after, Walker calls Ellie, who is at the scene, directly accusing Jake and his accomplices of being the culprits behind everything. They weren't chasing the truck that night. They were actually after the flower shipment inside. It was those 3 who took down Sui and stole the goods. Ellie, though shocked, chooses to believe Walker. And now she rushes to the hospital to check on Cortez, as he might be the only living witness. However, When Ellie arrives at the hospital, it's too late. Ching is already there, calling the corrupt cops. It turns out Ching was allied with the corrupt cops. He used them to take down Sui, and the corrupt cops used Ching to deal the flower for profit. The situation spiraled out of control when Walker intervened, and the corrupt cops failed repeatedly. Ching decided to teach them a lesson. He deals with the cops outside the hospital room and then attacks Cortez. Just as he is about to silence Cortez's wife, Ellie arrives. But Ching doesn't hesitate, shooting Cortez's wife dead right in front of Ellie. This enrages Ellie beyond measure. She immediately chases him up the stairs. A fierce gunfight erupts. Finally, Ellie seizes an opportunity, wounds Ching, and captures him alive, escorting him into a police car. Meanwhile, Walker takes Charlie and Mia to a small cabin in the woods to treat Charlie's wound. Afterward, he calls the mayor, sending their location to prepare for the next plan. The mayor is in Mother's hands. Hearing no response on the phone for a long time, Walker immediately guesses the situation. The next confrontation will be another fierce battle. Not long after, Mother arrives at the location with the mayor. Meanwhile, Ellie, unable to reach Walker by phone, also learns the cabin's location from Walker's ex-wife. Ellie forms a plan. Soon after, the corrupt cops receive a call from Ching saying the exchange will happen near the train line. Not long after, Jake and his remaining brother, Vincent, drive to the exchange point but only find Ching, not the seller. Immediately after, Ellie appears from the shadows, gun in hand, and the number of captured prisoners increases by 2. On the other side, Walker dons a bulletproof vest, shotgun in hand, preparing to confront Mother. Mia initially tries to knock Walker out and escape, but is discovered by him. At this moment, Mother's assassins arrive, bullets raining down on them. They immediately retreat into the house, finding cover to return fire. With the shotgun, Walker is at his most formidable, like a god of war possessing him, taking down an enemy with each shot. Even in this situation, Walker maintains his calm. When the shotgun runs out of ammo, he picks up weapons brought by the enemy and fires back. Beside him, Charlie and Mia fight without delay. The three cooperate, eliminating numerous enemies. But the enemies are too numerous, like locusts. As soon as one wave is wiped out, another follows. Bullets come up from below. Walker flips open a floor hatch and fires a burst at the enemies. After picking up a gun, Walker calls the two to follow him inside. But the back door is also blocked by enemies. After Walker takes them down, his gun is empty again. He can only use a hook to stab one enemy. At this point, a group rushes in, wanting to forcibly take Mia away. Charlie, protecting his girlfriend, resists, stabbing one enemy dead but can do no more. Both are captured by the assassins and dragged outside. Walker wants to run out to save them, but suddenly Mother's female subordinate appears. A series of lightning-fast attacks sends Walker crashing to the ground. Walker gets up and continues to fight. This time, the battle between the two becomes intense. Not long after, Walker's stamina wanes. She picks up a weapon, preparing to finish Walker, but is tricked. Walker quickly uses a nail gun to finish her. She loses control of her body and slowly slides to the ground. However, Charlie and Mia have fallen into enemy hands, and Walker cannot get up either. Mother arrives with the mayor. In this situation, father and son finally see each other. Mother hands the mayor a gun, saying Charlie dealt with her son, so the mayor must personally end this feud. Only blood can pay for blood. He considers, only wanting to do one thing, shoot Mia. His son desperately tries to stop him. Don't shoot Mia. At this critical moment, Ellie arrives with the other three in tow, revealing the truth Mother had been deceived about all along. Upon hearing this, Mother is stunned, questioning Ching why he betrayed her son. But Ching is also full of resentment. After his brother died, he should have taken over the gang, but Mother seized his position. Ching admits he secretly colluded with others, but the ones who acted were not him but the group of corrupt cops. Immediately after, the situation rapidly changes. Vincent finds an opportunity to shoot Charlie. The mayor rushes to shield his son with his body, but Jake also retaliates. Gunshots ring out. The situation becomes chaotic. Then, Ching takes the opportunity to finish Mother, then turns his gun on Jake. Unfortunately, his skills are no match for Jake's. He is quickly countered. Jake calmly walks over to Ching, picks up a bag of flour, and calmly walks away. This catches Walker's eye. He grabs his gun, struggling to stand up and give chase. Meanwhile, Ellie confronts Vincent. After a series of gunshots, Ellie quickly opens the car door. Both exit the car. At this moment, Ellie's gun is empty. At the crucial moment, Charlie picks up a gun and madly unloads it, eliminating the enemy. Vincent falls. On the other side, Jake runs towards the railway tracks, intending to escape on a train, But Walker also gives chase, firing several shots to stop his escape attempt. Jake is furious. Clearly Walker isn't clean either. Why couldn't he just let him go? Jake opens fire, but turns around only to be shot dead by Walker. After finishing everything, Walker's eyes show immense relief. Then, he leans against the side of the train, lost in thought. Ellie asks Walker what to do now. Walker says he should take responsibility for himself. Just from this battle alone, Walker's view of Ellie has completely changed. She's a good cop. Ellie promises to send the Christmas gift to Walker's daughter, but Walker says it's not necessary. Don't bother his daughter during the holiday. Then, police cars arrive at the scene. The story ends here. Thank you for watching today's video. Your likes, comments, and follows are our biggest motivation.